This video will be showcasing the ranged weapons that come with the mod Highmane's Arsenal. Within the mod, there are so many weapons that I had to split them up, and this is one of my favorite sections because I enjoy different ranged weapon options. Since in the vanilla game, you don't really have much. Between the throwing knives, I think was in the vanilla game, I know there's throwing javelin, and just the bow in general. But this is going to start out with one of the favorites I have for most games, and that's the crossbow. There are a couple crossbows. The only two I'm going to show is a regular crossbow and the arcane crossbow. Arcane crossbow is one of the red legendary types. I'm not sure what Highmane's Arsenal calls these red ones. Let's just call them epic, rare, legendary items.
Bruh.
Any case, this one, arcane crossbow, has infinite poison bolts, and that's what makes it special, and also it looks pretty. But first, the regular one with the ammo types: iron head bolts, blood scourge bolts, poison bolts, and explosive siege bolts. So the iron head bolts, there's not much to show, but just to show the animation, how the character looks and shooting. Alright, now that we got the little demonstration of the crossbow on that side, blood scourge bolts give heavy bleed, but they don't stack, and they do about 25 to 35 something damage. You can look at my damage meter every time I shoot, and it started from 296 that time, and the ending damage total is 323. So as I said, about 30 points. Now on to the poison bolts. Poison bolts are significantly better. I'm going to showcase the damage at 5 stacks. Only 5 stacks. At 10 stacks, I've seen 600 damage. And this is 5 right here, and that was 727. So from 727, watch the damage meter number, and the final number, and the difference between that will tell us what it is. 977. So over 200 from 5 stacks. So yes, the poison bolts are superior to blood scourge for that reason, but it's still a nice option, I guess. The explosive siege bolts are completely for structure damage only. They don't even travel well for balancing reasons. Obviously, you can't snipe someone's base from 20 miles away unless you're John Wick with it, but they also don't do that much damage against players or NPCs, so yeah, they're 100% for structure damage. And there you go. Now, the arcane crossbow bolt, just to show it. First of all, how it looks at the tip. Nice and shiny. Not a significantly different firing effect, but the bolts do come out looking nice and pretty. And the damage is essentially the same as the poison bolts were, because the poison itself doesn't really have a different amount of damage, but the crossbow hits harder. That started at 434, and the ending damage says 684. So yep, over 200 at 5 stacks. Same poison damage, but a slightly stronger crossbow with infinite ammo. Alright, real quick before the sandstorm hits, I think there's a sandstorm coming, is our hand crossbows, dual wielding hand crossbows in Conan Exiles, so you get the vampire hunter experience, or whatever you want to roleplay as with this. And they don't operate exactly like regular bows, because when you use the zoom button, or what would be the zoom button, instead I get a kick. Okay. Now, when you actually fire, the firing is based on a manual control rate, so you can fire 2 times for both bolts before you're out, or just 1 time, like this. And then it automatically reloads if you don't do anything. It'll reload both, obviously, after you fire both. So, you tap, 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 or tap, tap, whatever, it doesn't matter. And that's basically the extent of the weapon. I mean, it's cool. You get another way to quickly just fire something and then switch back to a weapon. And you can also press the offhand key for the back handstand to go backwards. Pretty maneuverable, and with a kick. So there's a Flintlock Pistol added with the mod, which can really help if you're into the pirate aesthetic or into any type of outlaw character. It's held in the offhand, so it actually isn't a main weapon. and it's not going to fire as quickly as a bow or crossbow. Or at least, maybe I'm incorrect about that. Let's see. Since I just said that, we're going to just try that out right now. It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's pretty slow. Now, the damage can't really be measured here because I don't have the exact skill I believe you're supposed to have to make that damage count. But since it's an offhand, I'm going to equip a sword. And this is how it looks whenever you have a sword and you're just shooting from the backside of this. Now, if you just keep offhand tapping the offhand key, you're going to constantly shoot. And of course, you can just fight like normal and cancel into the shot. Oh, I just noticed I'm doing a lot more damage. Maybe it's a range issue. Okay, now all of a sudden I'm shooting at higher damage. Well, in any case. So, there you go, Flintlock Pistol. Very simple. Now I'm going to take out a pistol that's higher level in Highmane's arsenal. And it has unlimited ammo, inflicting with curse. I just wanted to try it, just why not? Of course, it doesn't really do anything different outwardly without the curse effect. I don't really understand the curse myself. So, it doesn't really, unfortunately, have a special look to it, but hey, it's going to be an infinite ammo gun, so if you want to have something just to play around with, this mod has that. And the Flintlock Pistol is pretty cool since you can wield it with whatever your favorite one-handed weapon is. And it looks pretty awesome. Okay, so here I have a Flintlock Rifle, because of course they have the pistols, and they actually also have the rifle, which is pretty awesome. So I'm just going to showcase what that's like. The rifle is definitely something that I don't know how many people in Conan Exiles would expect or want it in, but since you have pirates, I think it makes sense that a type of gun like this could exist, but maybe not in the lore of Conan Exiles. But anyways, that's just a bunch of crap. The more important thing is that it's a very cool weapon, if you can get past the fact that it's in a barbarian world. It's kind of silly because of that, but anyways, here's how it works. You zoom just like a regular weapon, so you can get a little bit of extra view on the person. I guess you can actually snipe then. Also, we have 3 types of ammo. Now, the ammo is called a cartridge, and you have steel cartridges, which is the main one. You have a torch cartridge, which acts as the burning damage over time effect, and then a poison cartridge. Now, I have a regular musket first. Musket rifle. And that's how it sounds, and that's how it shoots. Let's just look at that from the side here. The offhand attack gives you a stab, single stab, no combo. Ooh, and it actually pushes pretty hard. A good push would cripple. That actually is kind of strong. Push them back and just keep shooting. Now I'm going to give a quick shoot with the torch cartridge. That's 1. And 2, and it stacks. So this effect stacks to 3, it looks like. And it's ticking. 39, 52. Okay. Alright, not bad. So that's a pretty good damage over time effect. It's not like our poison bolts from the last crossbow, but let's see what the poison cartridge is like with its damage. If it stacks just like poison, then it's going to be just as ridiculous. I'm just going to keep shooting until I see that number not going up. Okay, so it stopped at 5. Yeah, and that damage is just as significant as it's always been for poison. So there we go. As usual, poison's the dominant one. Now, the lever action rifle is just one of the special ones. You know, every time it's red, you already know it's special. I just want to showcase it because it's different. First of all, we're in a different animation. Squared up, ready to shoot the gun. And the fire rate... Ooh, that is the right click. Instead of being able to zoom in, you get a shoulder bash. Now, and that's how fast this gun fires. Now, it says it's broken. It's not actually broken. It's like self-reloading, basically. So once you fire it all away, and I don't think you have to fire it all away. I think it regenerates over time. But when you do, that happens. Now I'm having it held in my hands. It doesn't regenerate, so when I put it away, it does. So basically, it's reloading itself. And it's a lever rifle, but it operates like a little mini machine gun, as you just saw. So there you go. Oh, the offhand key actually reloads it, so... Okay. So this might be the most broken ranged weapon in the game. Alright, on to the arcane rifle, which is an infinite rifle, infinite ammo torch rifle. So, they're really just there to give you another way to experience the weapon without having to afford the ammo. Or to make it. Alright, well that's really all there is to show on that. It doesn't really look much different, or does it? See? I'll pull out the regular musket. And then the torch. Oh, that looks cool. That does look different. Well, that's one reason to get it if you like the gun. And that's basically it for the Flintlock Rifle. All the ammo types and a couple different types shown. The Shortbow gives a little unique flavor to bows. The distinct difference between it and the regular bow in the game is, in the word short, is that it's a lot swifter, a little faster. To make that happen, I guess they decided to turn up the fire rate to 1,000 because the charge shots, I think they do charge a little faster. I don't know. I don't use the bow very often, but they do seem a bit speedy, but the charging isn't really the mainstay part of the bow. However, as you can see, it does really decent damage. Now that, right there, you just hold your fire button and you are hip firing arrows like you're shooting a pistol or something. And that was just the offhand, getting the back dashes. And yeah, the fire rate is insane for this thing. You do not have to actually aim when using the Shortbow. As you can see, I'm using needle arrows in the Shortbow, and they give bleed, which is stacking really ridiculously, but it doesn't seem to really do a lot of damage, which, that's balanced. Moving right along into the next arrow type, called Rot Flesh. We have some Sundering, so I guess that's the rotting part of it, which stacks all the way to 8, and you can see that actually the damage was increasing every shot, so really nice. Broadhead arrow, that's a basic arrow, standard with no effects. In fact, there's nothing particularly special about it. Pretty sure you get the least amount of damage with that one. But yeah, that's the arrow types. Now here we are with a Warbow, and that's a new term to me, but it's an exciting look. So here we go. We have blunted arrows, so we're going to be having concussive, and it's very powerful. It knocked off the entire bar. That's a crazy amount. Next up, we're just going to showcase the damage with some standard shots. Okay, so there was a little bit of stagger there. Like I dinged her in her head. That was even a nice little sound to it. Okay, so we have the regular arrows, essentially. The stagger is so cool. Okay, so the offhand, as you can see, I'm stabbing, and we're just leaving these arrows inside of the enemy, just giving them the acupuncture treatment with the offhand attacks. That's pretty cool, honestly. So I guess that's what the Warbow's about. Heavy bowstring shots, staggers, and stabs. Alright, next up we're trying the next arrow. Looks like we're leaving them... No bleed. Okay, the bleed came from an offhand attack. Well, both arrow types feel pretty similar. No major differences here. Alright, time to try the explosive. Oh, no explosion? No pop? Okay, let me try this again. No explosives yet. Nothing. Let's try shooting at the ground. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe you gotta shoot at the ground. Shoot at their ankle. What the heck was that? Okay. Quick shot into the body. Gave me 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're exploding a little bit. I guess it's there for fun. And plus, since it's explosives, I guess you can break meteors with it and stuff, but it looks cool. And that's the Warbow. Not bad. At least I can use another bow now. Time for the more exciting part of the mod, Magelocks and Gunblades. I'm going to be using the Pyro Magelock, which is very self-explanatory. It's fire-based, so... And it comes with its own fire effect, similar to burning. Oh, look at this gun. Look at me. Looking pretty good. But yeah, the gun is pretty nice. It's infinite ammo, not based on actual ammo. It's just based on some type of element. As you can see, I have other elements, but right now the fire is pretty cool. And oh, we can push them back with the offhand attack, a bayonet thrust. That's pretty nice. Other than that, you're basically just shooting elemental bullets. And now here's the ice. So frost, we're expecting some slow, and it does look like cripple. And I'm not exactly sure if it's slow because I didn't have any documentation to read, and this opponent's not going to be running right now. But we see some stacks, just like with the fire. So the stacks must mean something. Okay, now lightning. Can't imagine what this would do. If it was me directing it, they would get electrocuted and stunned or something. Like Palpatine, but whatever. Anyways, Radiant Magelock. I'm basically just showcasing how it looks and sounds, which I think they all sound similar. So the looks and sounds are very similar. It's the effects with the draw that look nice. That charging looks awesome. And that Soulfire is kicking in 66 damage every single time. That's actually a lot in vanilla. Very, very powerful. Alright, now quickly going on to the Gunblade, because we're just moving through to give a quick demonstration of everything. Gunblades are like swords, and they have the option to shoot, but you can swing them, as you can see. Okay, and that was a, what, 5-hit combo there? And Eldritch Bite, that's basically a poison here. So, these are the heavies. 4 heavy attacks. That's actually the regular sword attacks too, but hey, this isn't a regular sword, because we have another option here. There we go. Offhand attacks lead to these shots. That's pretty cool. So I could just precisely kind of aim it, and yeah, it's kind of loud. I might have to actually lower the volume, but yeah, it's really nice that you can actually tap the offhand key and just keep shooting. Now the Cinder Shot. I'm gonna move on to the next one. I want to try that one. This one is precision. Let's see what this one is like. Maybe it's the same and it's just fire based, but we'll see. 4-hit light combo, and I think the light combo was different, at least in animation, and that's already a good sign that it's different. Okay, it's not too different. The animation was different, but it was the same amount of hits and knockdown, 4 hits. And now, oh, so it shoots once, does a little reload. Also, I don't know if you noticed that, but there was like a shotgun amount. Yes, the shotgun comes out and it arcs. Wow. So you're hitting like 20 times 7, so it's pellet based. That's actually really awesome. It's nice that there's variety, and there's only 4 Magelocks and 2 Gunblades, but they're nice. Alright, speaking of nice, if you like blowing things up, then you're gonna love this section here with the grenades. You have equipable grenades that have durability, so instead of making 50 or 100 grenades, you make one of these and they go off multiple times. Really good for long-term fighting with bombs. Right now I'm just showcasing what it looks like, having a main-handed sword, or short sword, and just going crazy with the bombs with the offhand. And I mean, it is kind of crazy just tossing bombs so much, but that's what we want, right? That's what I want. Now this bombs throw a lot of bleed and I think some type of sunder. And it's gone. Durability gone, so it's out of here. So now next bomb. The next bomb is a primary handed bomb, as you can see. It took over the slot of my weapon. And this is a demon fire orb like a Molotov. Now since it's primary, I'm going to equip a throwing knife from the mod, which is an offhand weapon, into my offhand. So here we are. Now I have a primary bomb and a offhand throwing knife, and I'm just gonna keep throwing things. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep running around throwing knives and bombs, and we're gone. And we're on to the next one. The stink bomb, just kidding, the gas grenade, and oh my god, that damage. That is disgusting. It's almost as disgusting as the gas itself. What is this damage? Jesus, and shrapnel grenades. Let me see. Some good bleed on this, right? It's hard to tell the damage when the gas grenade is still suffocating them, but look, I'm having fun. I'm just gonna keep throwing things. Oh, look at me. Look at how I look. Just throwing stuff. Doesn't this look crazy? A guy in full heavy armor with a wolf mask tossing gas grenades at you and shrapnel. Like, what universe are we in? Now the concussive grenade. Here we go. Something very interesting, right? But, well, it's not actually concussive, like in terms of Conan concussive. It's more like some type of stun. Oh, sunder. It sunders. I mean, I don't really understand because it looks like it only has one stack, but I guess it sunders. Oh wait, it does a lot of damage too. 150, 60. Okay. So it's a mix between support of some type. Now healing grenades. Let's see if I can heal my enemies. Okay, I throw it on myself. Okay. Oh, look at that health. They just went from 91,000 all the way up to 100k. Okay, red tail. Now that they're fully healed, I can beat them down some more. Not that they were going to die anytime soon. A smoke grenade. I don't know what that does to AI when it's like fighting you, because that effect looks like it affects them, but yeah, I'll have to try that later. Now the red tail grenade, looking like a Mario Kart. What do you call it? Red flower something. That one is leaving a lot of fire, it looks like, on the ground. Similar to that demon fire orb. Okay, so this is an offhand grenade again, a light grenade, so I can put on my main weapon. The light grenade, I think it's literally a light, so I don't know why I expected it to start doing damage. I think I'm addicted to bombs, but instead I'm just gonna color the arena blue in the daytime. Alright, fluorescent lights and all that good stuff. What's next? Eggs. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna hit him with a big old egg, it looks like. Here, take a crocodile egg. Did it just blow up? Yeah, I guess it blows up with like the juice or something. Oh, that sounds nasty, but we got egg juice. Oh, I'm slipping and sliding. What is this? I wonder if this could be used against the AI. Like, will they just kind of slide off cliffs or something if I throw the egg on a cliff? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to try this out later. But anyways, I think that's every grenade type so far. I'm gonna take back to the red grenade. Guess we'll see what it looks. Oh, the floor is doing all kinds of stuff now. Okay. Okay, I'm a shield hero now with my grenades. Just imagine this in PvP. You versus this guy, Alpha Chad, with a wooden shield and bombs constantly throwing at you, rolling and blocking. That would be me. I would be that guy. And no one would love me. But hey, I love these bombs, okay? I hope you do too. They're pretty cool so far. And that's it. I hope whoever's watching and actually gets to this point has a very good day, and I do appreciate that. It's taken me a while to finally start doing this and finish the video because I've been doing other things, you know, working a job and stuff like that, but I did have fun doing this, so I think I'm going to try to get the other ones done a lot sooner because honestly, it's fun to just play around with stuff, and I love mods, and this mod is something special, and I saw that, you know, no one really has a video on YouTube about it, so I might as well just kind of give it a little bit of push. But I'm doing this for me. I just want to. Anyways, The next video will be about one-handed weapons and offhand weapons. Similar to what you saw here with the throwing knife and the offhand, I'm going to go harder on that side because there's a couple of weapons Highmane's arsenal has that you could dual wield or just single wield. And I feel like the single wield aspect of Highmane's arsenal is actually more impressive than two-hand arsenal. And it's gonna come out soon, but we'll see when that happens. Either way, you guys take care of yourselves and have a good day. I'm gonna go ahead and relax and play with my cats a little bit and maybe work on a video or so. We'll see what happens. Either way, you guys take care. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, I really appreciate it. Even if you didn't, just checking it out means a lot to me. And take care of yourselves and have a great day.